Professor of Medicine and Infectious Diseases at the Mater Hospital and the UCD School of Medicine. Dr. Jack Lambert, good morning to you.
Good morning.
What is your take, Jack? And there's much toing and froing back and forth on green lists and people going on holidays and whether it's safe to do so, and people like me who are saying absolutely no way, I've cancelled it, goodbye, good luck, we're not going as we were supposed to be in the next couple of weeks. How do you feel as an expert in this field about people leaving the country right now and going to other countries having a holiday?
Well, I just think there's so many polarized opinions, on this subject right now, and I think moving forward, the new norm is COVID's going to be around for a long time, and COVID continues to circulate in low numbers in Ireland, and we saw that just there's been new cases, mostly local cases, just in the last month in Ireland, and focusing, saying that nobody can travel, nobody can go anywhere because they'll bring COVID back into the country is I think is missing part of the point here. So yes, I don't think we should be doing unnecessary travel, but then what is necessary travel, what is unnecessary travel, what is safe travel, what is not safe travel? And I've said that, absolutely. I wouldn't go to, so this message was Portugal's in the surge. I think it's a bad idea, but Spain is stable. Places like Iceland is stable, places like Slovenia is stable, places like Greece is stable, and there's probably more of a risk of Irish people bringing it in some ways to some of these countries, unbeknown, than bringing it back from some of these countries. So I think we need to individualize, and yes, we do need to come up with lists, and we do need to be hugely cautious, but we have to not just keep on saying, we're going to, freeze things. We need to move forward with best practice on what we know, and face masks is a critical part of that all over the world, and in the city, and safe travel is a part of that as well.
To unbox that a little bit, if I can, the idea that you can go to Spain. So let's say that people, and right now they're in the airport, they're getting ready to go on flights, they've heard the government guidelines and they've heard what Ronan Glynn has had to say, and they go, actually, you know what, I'm going on holidays anyway, and I've made a risk assessment and I feel that this is safe. What can happen, Jack, and I know this has happened to people that I know, is that you go and it's fantastic and everything is great and there's no risk, and then all of a sudden there might be a small increase in cases or a surge in cases in a country, and all of a sudden that country is deemed to be more at risk while you're there, and then you're in a very different landscape.
Right, but you are and you're not. It's no different than being in Dublin. So you go to the pubs in Dublin, and there's a surge in Dublin. You're in Ireland. So what do? If you meticulously take care of things, hand hygiene, social distancing when possible, and using face masks, you won't catch the virus. That's the message when we worked in the hospital. That's the message in Dublin. So let's say there was an outbreak in Spain. I'm not suggesting that if people are going to Spain, for example, say you're going on a summer holiday because you've got family members there and you want to go out and meet them for all sorts of, you've made that decision. If you meticulously follow the same precautions in Spain as you would in Ireland, you're not going to get the virus. So I just think there's a personal responsibility here, and yeah. I agree with not traveling unnecessarily, but I just think we actually have to individualize and not put a ban on travel forever and ever and ever.
Which brings me to my next point, and you've used the word meticulously there, and I consider myself to be quite meticulous. I know you are, because it's your job. Not everybody is meticulous. Everybody, and we talked about this on Monday, everybody's risk register is different. Some people will stick to the rules rigidly. Others will have a very laissez-faire approach. Some won't do anything different to what they've been doing all along. I don't care about the meticulous ones. They're great. They're probably not going to go anyway because they deem it too risky. It's the ones who don't have the same kind of care or respect for what they need to do that I'm worried about. I passed a bus this morning, half the people were wearing masks, even though it's mandatory to wear masks on buses.
But why has it taken 2 months? We've known that masks are the critical component here. If we just get the message out there, so why are we so concerned about people bringing the virus in? Because everybody on that bus putting other people at risk by not wearing a mask. That and 98% of the cases in the last month in Ireland have been local cases. So we really should focus on where the problem is. So I don't care if you use a mask on the Dublin bus or you use a mask in the Amsterdam bus if you choose to go to Amsterdam. If you use meticulous care, you won't get the virus, and making arbitrary decisions to people that you can't travel here, you can't travel there. They are traveling. I just think that, and I think they should limit the travel, but I think the message really should be 100% compliance with safe practices. Even coming back into Dublin, I saw Twitter the other day, many of the Dublin DAA staff are not social distancing and wearing masks. And the message was, we'll encourage them to use masks. You don't encourage people to use masks. You tell them, 100% this is a safe thing to do, and do that to waiters in the city centre, do that to the Dublin DAA staff, do that to personal individuals who stay in Ireland, who travel outside of Ireland. I think that's the best strategy moving forward, rather than coming up with polarised, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this. I think we need to give clear guidelines moving forward, because this is a new normal. And I think we should be conservative, but we actually have to move forward in some reasonable way.
Okay.
Financially, psychologically, and medically, you have to come up with a safe strategy.
This is Jonathan Healy filling in for Pat Kenny this morning. I'm speaking with Dr. Jack Lambert, who is a professor of medicine and infectious diseases at the Mater Hospital. We have a poll running on Twitter this morning. Jack, the question we're asking is, would you tell your friends and family not to visit you when they return from a holiday abroad? And the reason we're asking that is to just try and gauge how comfortable people are with those who are leaving the country right now, whether it be to a country where you're allowed in or a country where you're probably not recommended to go. The answer is yes. 78.5% would tell friends and family not to come near them for the requisite 14-day period on their return. There is a discomfort around this, and I don't know if that discomfort will be resolved by anything other than a vaccine, which brings us back to this being a long-term problem.
The vaccine is the face mask at the present time. This is a long-term problem. We don't have a vaccine. I hope we will, but it's 12 to 18 months, maybe never. So what do we do in the meantime? And I think in the meantime, face masks are the critical prevention moving forward on top of everything else. And public opinion shouldn't decide science,